Last night I dreamed. Okay, this episode it's disgusting. I mean, it's funny, but it's probably more disgusting than funny. Like me. I just finished an extra large pizza. Ate the whole thing by myself, and I had to use the bathroom. It's number 2, and it's a Godzilla-sized load. I mean, as I'm unleashing this, I'm thinking to myself, this has to be a crime of some kind against clean air, water. It's one of these number 2s that you feel like the toilet's going to start crying about midway through this process. So anyways, finish that process, wipe, stand up, and survey the scene, and it's really weird. The toilet is filled with pizza, undigested pizza. It didn't even look like it had been chewed. It looked like it had just been chopped up into smaller square slices, and evenly spread throughout the little chopped up bits of pizza were gallstones, big gallstones. They were their color ranged from off-white to yellow, and the biggest ones, I mean, they varied in size, but the biggest ones were nearly the size of golf balls. There were quite a few of them, 30, 40 maybe, just little chopped up bits of pepperoni pizza and gallstones. I was in shock. I was just staring at it for a while and just wondering how this was possible, and thinking about my gallbladder, and just I was surprised that those had been in me, and I was even more surprised that I was able to simply just pass them through a bowel movement. I didn't think that was possible, and it isn't. So anyways, after I've looked at this atrocity in the bowl long enough, I flush, and it doesn't go down. I flush again. It doesn't even come close to going down. At this point, I can hear my dad's come home. He closes the front door. I just drop the lid, and I'm just thinking, God, what am I going to do about this? I'm not going to grab a ladle and start retrieving this stuff and tossing it into a bucket and then emptying the bucket in the garden in the backyard or anything. What am I going to do here? It's not going down. Well, eventually my dad has to use the bathroom here, and I figure, okay, the jig's up. I'm just going to tell him. Actually, I don't even tell him. I don't say a word. I just lift up the lid, and I look at him. He looks into the water. He looks at me in amazement, and then we both just stare at this atrocious load. And it was at that point I realized that the toilet was not in a bathroom. The toilet was situated in the middle of the living room, surrounded by Christmas presents and directly in front of a big Christmas tree. Then I woke up for a bit. I had to use the bathroom. It was number 1 in reality, because I'd had a few beers before I went to sleep. Then I fell back asleep for about an hour and a half, I think, and I just started having a dream about being in the presence of a scientist. This guy was wearing a white lab coat, and he was explaining to me that there is a Hall of Fame for not shaving. Just said, yeah, for people, there's actually a Hall of Fame for people not shaving. I mean, if you produce, horrible enough looking facial hair, you can be inducted into this Hall of Fame. And he proceeded to explain the criteria for induction. And at that point, he was getting close to me, and he was examining some of the small hairs on my cheek up here, and then my alarm clock went off and I woke up.